So, Tia Andre, what are we doing? We're going into the history of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. So this is Moses, our ancestor, warning us that what?
To observe, to do all the commandments of the Lord thy God.
That we have to observe to do all of God's commandments. And what we were going into earlier was, we can't be celebrate Christmas. Right. We can't have boyfriend and girlfriend. Right. The woman that you with, you cannot be laying down with her. You have to marry her first, right? Read on.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So it says we're going to be cursed in the city. Like I was bringing out earlier, we have our young man by the name of Trey Reed. This past week, he was lynched at Delta State University. God is saying we're going to be what?
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
And what happens when our people get lynched? They often say what? They found no wrongdoing. That's what the police are saying. They saw a man, that was a young man, 21 years old, was lynched from a tree, and they're automatically saying that there is no wrongdoing. There's barely any investigation into it. God is saying that we're going to be cursed in the city, meaning what? Brother T, the same people who did this to us, the same people who put us on cargo slave ships, the same people who put shackles and chains on our necks, the same people who had us picking cotton in the field, the same people who destroyed Black Wall Street, who destroyed Rosewood, who destroyed the bell bottoms in Detroit. God is saying these same people, they're going to be the ones who are going to be killing us in the city. So read that last part again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
It says we're going to be cursed in the field. And Brother T, I want you to look at the bottom of the sign right here. What do you see at the bottom of this sign? What do you see at the very bottom? We're working in the field. What kind of field were we working in? Tobacco field, cotton field. So now this is Moses warning us that if we break God's commandments, these are going to be the curses, the judgments that God's going to bring upon us as a nation of people for breaking His commandments.
Right.
So read that last part again.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
So we're going to be cursed in the city, and we're going to be cursed in the field. So now let's fast forward to modern times. The field is going into the workforce, the modern day workforce. So now when you look at the job market, who has the highest rates of unemployment?
Bring it out.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And they also said that since Trump got elected, that over 300,000 black women have left the workforce. Either through them getting fired, them getting laid off, them not able to find work. They fired who? They fired your auntie. Right. That's part of us being cursed in the field, because why? We have to go to our enemies and want of all things. Verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So, Brother T, God is saying we're going to have to serve our enemies. Who's our enemies? So-called, and it's not just them. It's not just the so-called white man. It's the so-called East Indians. It's the so-called Arabs. It's the so-called Koreans, the Chinese. All the nations that don't make part, who don't make up the 12 tribes of Israel, they're all our enemies. You know why? Because all nations took part in our slavery.
Right.
They took us from the west coast of Africa. They brought us to South America, Puerto Rico, Haiti, North America. And you also had the sub-Saharan slave trade. Are you familiar with that? The sub-Saharan slave trade? That's when the so-called Arabs and the so-called Africans, the Nilotic Africans, they took us into slavery. And they sold us into Saudi Arabia. They sold us into Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and further east into China.
Get the sense.
Because who built the Great Wall of China? Brother T. It was us. That was our ancestors.
Right.
Yes, sir. Get me the compact Zonovan. Get me him out of the compact, and get me Genesis 10:6 as well.
So we Israelites.
Right. How we end up? Oh, excellent question. Give me Luke 21 first. Give me Luke 21 and verse 20. So, our homeland is Jerusalem, Northeast Africa. Jerusalem is in Northeast Africa. So the question is, how do we end up in the west coast of Africa? Correct? I'm gonna show you historically what happened to our people. Yes, sir. Get that, Luke chapter 21.
Luke chapter 21, verse 20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
So historically speaking, this is going into 70 AD. The Roman Empire under Titus and Vespasian, they surrounded Jerusalem because they were getting ready to lay siege and destroy the city. Because why? The Jews were in rebellion against Roman rule, so the Romans came to sack Jerusalem and destroy our ancestors. So this is Christ warning us. When you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, this is going into Roman armies. Read on.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
When you see those Roman armies coming, understand that destruction is near. Read on.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
So he said, Christ warned us, they that are in Judea, flee into the mountains. What are those mountains? It's going into Africa.
Right.
Just like when Herod wanted to kill Christ, where did Joseph and Mary flee into? They fled into Africa. So that's what Christ is warning the Jews. Once you see the Roman armies coming, flee into the mountains, meaning to what? The interiors of Africa. Read on.
And let them which are in the midst of thereof depart out. And let them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance.
So these be the days of vengeance. Read on.
That all things which are written may be fulfilled.
So all things that were written must be fulfilled. What are those things? That's going into the prophecies we were reading about, just in Deuteronomy 28 alone. Read on.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land.
There's going to be great distress and tribulation in the land. Just like there's great distress and tribulation in the land back then, it's the same exact thing today. Because you know why? The Jews are not in their land today.
Right.
You know who's in the land today? It's the synagogue of Satan.
That's right.
They are the fake Jews, the same people who are committing genocide on the Palestinians right now, who are bombing men, women, and children, blowing them into pieces. They're bombing reporters. God calls them the synagogue of Satan. We're going to get that, but continue reading.
And wrath upon this people, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
So the Romans were going to kill us, and we're going to fall by the edge of the sword. And who are the Romans? That's the so-called white man today. Their biblical name is Edom. They are the nation of Edom, according to the Bible. Read on.
And shall be led away captives.
We should be what?
Led away captives into all nations.
Have you ever watched the movie Gladiator? With Russell Crowe? Where they're fighting in the Colosseum? You know who's fighting those Colosseums? The Jews. Our ancestors. That's a depiction of our history. When the Romans enslaved us and destroyed us, they took us captive, they brought us to Rome, and they had us fighting in the Colosseums. And what do we do today? We're playing football, we're playing baseball, we're now playing sports in their modern day Colosseums today. So the same thing we're doing back then, we're doing the same thing today, Brother T. Read on.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It says Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. Do you know who those Gentiles are? Yes! The so-called white man, whose biblical name is Edom. It says what? Read that part again.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles shall be fulfilled.
So the time the Gentiles will be fulfilled when Christ returns. So until Christ returns, Jerusalem is going to be inhabited by Gentiles. So if those people in the land today, we're going to get that, hold that, get that. We're going to get Revelation 2:9 first. So it says Jerusalem is going to be trodden down of the Gentiles. The people in that land today call themselves the Jews. Right? Let's see what God calls them. Read that from
Revelation chapter 2 verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
So Brother T, Christ is letting us know. He knows our works. He knows our tribulation. The tribulation we're going through right now. We're the last side of the first fire. We're getting gunned down in the streets. You see what Trump is doing right now. Trump is doing everything in his power. He took away DEI. He took away affirmative action. He's taking away slavery out of the education system. And what is he doing? He's creating tariffs. And who pays tariffs, Brother T? Who pays the tariffs? No, we do. The people, we do. We pay the tariffs. The public pays the tariffs, which means what? The price of gas is going to go up. The price of food is going to go up. Our daily living expenses is going to go up. It's going to be harder and harder for us to get by. And we're already at the bottom of society. So what did Christ say? One more time.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
Christ knows the poverty that we're in, Brother T.
But thou art rich.
I have a question for you, Brother T. Why are we rich? Because it says that we're in poverty, but at the same time, we're rich. Why is that?
children of God.
Yes, we're the children of God. And what comes with us being the children of God?
Right. That's all the blessings and all.
Like what? Rulership, Brother T. You know what comes with rulership? We're going to have all these nations, these same nations that did this to us, we're going to have them in subjection under us. That's why we're rich. All the wealth that they stole from the Americas, South America, all the gold, the bauxite, the oil, the diamonds, the uranium, all the resources that they stole from Africa, they're going to bring it right back to us. Read that last part again.
But thou art rich.
Thou art rich. You know what's happening in France right now, Brother T? They're rioting in France right now because their economy they're experiencing almost economic collapse in France right now. Do you know why they're almost experiencing economic collapse? Because their former colonies in Africa, they're now cutting off France right now. France, their whole survival comes from Africa. They stole all their wealth from Africa. They get all of their earnings, their income still coming from Africa.
Right.
And what's Ibrahim Traore doing right now in Burkina Faso? What's Nigeria doing right now? What's all the former French colonies doing right now? They're cutting France off. And France, they're experiencing economic collapse as we speak. So read that last part again.
But thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy.
It says, I know the blasphemy. And what is blasphemy, Brother T? Lies. So it says, I know you're in poverty, but thou art rich. And Brother T, I know the lies
of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Says, I know that. Read that last part again.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Who's saying they're Jews? Who says they're the Jews? So-called white man in that land today. But they're not the Jews. Well, who are they?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
God calls them the synagogue of Satan.
Right.
What you see them doing right now? Dropping bombs on the Palestinians.
Right.
Tens of thousands of men, women, and children put to death. God is calling them the synagogue of Satan. How you doing, my sister? We're going into who the real Jews are today. You are the real Jew, my sister. Not the synagogue of Satan in that land today.
The word say all Israel is not of Israel.
So who's that?
Those people who they are killing the people.
So they're not the Israelites. God says what? Call it. Read that part again.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
God calls them the synagogue of Satan. They're the ones who are ruling the earth right now. They control the porn industry. They control the movie industry. They control the political system. Everything America is doing right now is for the benefit of so-called Israel today.
Right.
America turned a blind eye while they bombed Qatar. Turned a blind eye when they bombed Iran.
Right.
Turns a blind eye as they are right now starving out the Palestinians.
Bring it
God
out.
calls them what again?
The synagogue of Satan.
God called them the synagogue of Satan. They are the chief house of Satan.
Teach.
Because what? Read that last part again.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
They are the synagogue of Satan. They're the ones who control the banking system all over the earth. The IMF, the World Bank. They're the ones who tell African countries, even though you have uranium, even though you have gold, even though you have cobalt, even though you're sitting on trillions of dollars worth of resources, your money is worth absolutely nothing. Whereas Europe, on the other hand, that has no resources, their money is more valuable than African nations. Even though Europe, they print their money out of thin air. You have Muammar Gaddafi. He tried to unite Africa and create the African Union that will be backed by Africa's resources. And what did the West do? What did Europe do? They bombed and they assassinated Muammar Gaddafi. So that's why God calls them the synagogue of Satan.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom. What is the nation? Nation
is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word